Hey everyone, if you don't want any spoilers for the new LEGO Ninjago Sons of Garmadon TV series season, turn around right now. Do not watch another second of this video because that series has not come out as of the time of the recording of this video, but I guarantee this set shows some sort of major spoiler. You've been warned. Seriously. Okay, here we go. This is the S.O.G or Sons of Garmadon headquarters set. And it's a big old play arena, basically, intended to work with the Air-Jitsu, no, now they're called Spinjitsu spinner pieces, which are basically the Air-Jitsu ones, minus a little bit of the aerodynamic effect, so they're intended to just work on the ground. This whole thing is fully designed for play and not display, for action and not aesthetics. Starting from the left side, you have a platform with a figure that can spin on top of it, and this can be turned and brought around to create some battling actions against a spinner that's spun around in this arena. This is a train ticket, they call it an ATM, but it's a train ticket machine, and it has a piece that can easily be broken out just to create some destruction. One thing noteworthy here in terms of parts is that this has the double high narrow width window with a glass piece that is opaque light gray. That's going to be a very useful part, or a very useful color for that part. This segment here has the couple of rotating hammers, the Mjolnir hammers there, that just spin around when they get hit, so it has a little bit of a centrifugal effect. The main gate here is the biggest part of the build, and you're supposed to go through. You're going to try to take your spinner with a figure in it and get it to go up that ramp and hop right through. They actually made these doors intentionally a little easy to open, so they don't use fully ratcheted hinges. They go between ratcheted parts and just regular clips, so they're kind of soft. And there's a small action feature built into that where if you go through here, it's hitting a couple of bars that ultimately will hit that mask up on the top from the back. So if you hit it well enough, it didn't really work right there, but the idea is that this would knock this mask off and then you'd be able to get access to it. Here's a look at that from the back. So these are the couple of lift arms that are going to trigger just this small little extension right here with the light at the end of it to move up and try to hit that mask. And you have to hit this hard, and it seems to have to happen fairly quickly. I'll do a demonstration of trying to make this work naturally, but I've not had a lot of great success with getting the mask to come down on its own. This next segment of the arena is just a bike lift, so it's supposed to be part of a bike workshop. You've got just a wrench over there on a clip on the side, but this is something that sticks out kind of into the arena space, so it's also something that potentially the spinner could hit and knock off. And I'll show you the bike itself up more closely in just a minute. That's actually pretty nice. And this last section over here just has a circular saw blade on an arm that you can rotate from the outside. It doesn't spin up on its own, but if it gets hit by a spinner, then it can start to spin, which makes it look a lot more dangerous than just swinging it back and forth like this. This entire space has a couple of major hinges to allow you to bring some of these features closer together. You can also operate both sides, both of these arms, with just a single person, or you can have two people working together on opposite sides. But this just allows you to kind of shape the place so it becomes a smaller space. This also makes it a little bit more convenient for storage on a shelf, but you can also bring these out to make it look much larger. The 2018 Spinjitsu system, like I said, works just like the failed Air-Jitsu line. It's using mostly the same parts. You put a figure in a secure capsule, put it onto a handle, and then you use a zip cord line or just a handle piece here. Stick that in there, and then you just pull it, and you pull it hard and fast, and I think the key to maximizing your fun with this thing is to embrace the chaos, spin it up really fast, and just try to get a general angle on where you want it to go, and just watch it go absolutely insane. There's a lot of energy that gets built up into this, and it's really able to knock a lot of stuff around. I'm actually impressed by how well the arena held up, given how insane this can be once it starts to get going. Because of how small these capsules are, though, one unfortunate thing is that you can only put really small weapons on the actual ninja that you put inside, and you always have just this round exterior. You know, you're not able to attach any weapons to it or anything to really change how it acts like you could with the old school spinners. So here's a closer look at the new generation Spinjitsu Lloyd with his 2 silver colored shuriken there. Got some gold printing, plenty of gold printing on the torso, the hips, and the legs. And, you know, the movie style of head and headgear. So look at the print on the back of the torso. So these don't have too much resolution, you know, too much detail, fine lines and depth and all. It's kind of a energy style, if you ask me. There's the secondary face back there, fully exposed, and of course you want to see the normal face version of him. Now here's where things get a little bit weird, because on the left there is obviously Zane, but he's undercover as an S.O.G member. He has the exact same torso as the guy on the right of your screen. Here Zane is taking the persona of Snake Jaguar. That's what he's billed as on the box. And the guy on the right is Skip Vicious. I'm assuming the guy on the right is an actual S.O.G member. It's interesting that they went with the exact same torsos. It's simple, it's easy. Got that 80s styling there that really has me wondering where they're going to go with the plot direction. Are they going to go with an alternate timeline, or is it just a certain part of the neighborhood and a certain style of this gang that just is kind of stuck in the 80s in their own minds? I'm not going to take the sword holder sheath piece off of Zane to show you the back of his torso, since it is identical to the one on the right. Neither of these has an alternate face, unfortunately. But there's a clear look at the faces we do get without anything obstructing them. Now here on the left is the character Ultraviolet. She is really cool, I think. I wonder what's up with the gray skin tone, but just a really interesting looking figure with lots and lots of highly detailed print. Really stands out, I think. Just good looking. I'm glad that they have the hollow stud piece used up there to hold the hairpiece in place, so that's not going to fall out very easily. On the right is a character here named Nails, who is Chopper Maroon but with short legs. So this is a flashback set, you know, from an older time in the timeline. Does he actually become Chopper Maroon, or is it someone else, or is it just an alternate timeline entirely? I don't know. It'll be interesting to see just what is up with so many of the things in this set and in this series. Again, on the left, really nice printing on that torso. A good torso on the right as well, no question. Really fine details, and I think it just fits in well with the entire theme. But there we go. There are the faces fully exposed. I think that the one on the right is just a little bit underprinted, needs a little bit more of the white, you know, needs to be a little bit thicker. It almost looks tan right now, but the one on the left is good. Yeah, no complaints there. The Oni mask in this set is called the Mask of Hatred. You can get individual ones in some of the small to medium sets, or you can get all 3 in the Temple of Resurrection. I think these look pretty cool. They use the same mold for the main mask piece itself, but then they do things differently for the horns or the hair. And each of these is just attached to a standard helmet piece, so it's basically acting like a visor. You could actually lift it up like that, and it fits on a minifig just fine. For example, here it is on Ultraviolet, all color matched with the purples and everything, so that works out pretty well. You could also kind of turn the hair pieces on this one back if you want a little bit different look, but I think this is probably the most effective and unique. And finally, as promised, here's a closer look at the motorcycle, which I quite like. I think it starts to look a little bit plain and blocky just back in this area here, but you know, realize just how small this bike is relative to the figure compared to other chopper style bikes that Lego has done in the past. You know, this one is just so much smaller. Typically they just go with these ridiculously huge sizes, which is understandable given how difficult it is to get unique builds out of just regular Lego pieces using legal Lego techniques that will actually pass Lego's internal reviews to be usable by kids, to be easy to build, and to be durable enough to actually play with. So I feel like this is a good design, especially the front half of it. It works out well. I think they did a nice thing to make it stand up on its own by just doubling up the wheels in the back, so it just looks like, it basically looks like it has just a wider tire back there if you don't look at it too closely. So I think this does its job well and looks pretty good. Could have been just a little bit better in the back, but all in all, not bad. So that's the S.O.G headquarters. Hopefully a lot of these things will make a lot more sense once the actual episodes come out and we can see what it's all about. I have a very bad feeling though that what we're going to see in the show for this space is going to be much more complete and make this look like kind of just a skeleton of what it's actually representing. The new Spinjitsu system, the air jitsu based thing, can be fun, like I said, if you just embrace the chaos of it and just try to destroy things with it, you know, get it spinning really quickly, don't try to be too accurate with it, but it still, to me, is nowhere near as good as the old Spinjitsu system because you can't really do any customization here. You just put the figure inside the capsule. It doesn't really contribute anything. It's only able to hold on to really small weapons, and then you know, those aren't even sticking out. You always just have this super safe, smooth exterior to the spinning section of it. The arms that are supposed to kind of try to battle with it aren't able to do too much because this tends to want to just go all over the place, and you don't get a lot of long engagement with it. I guess that right there is something that I should have tried to go through. It's one option, but you know, I wasn't able to get that mask to come down effectively. Maybe if you just put it on the piece behind there that actually moves rather than putting it on display, that might work a little bit better. A lot of things here just don't work that well for me, and I feel like a lot of parents are going to buy this for a younger kid, you know, expecting it to be all about the play, all about the actions, and the kids are gonna get bored. First of all, you definitely have to use this on a hard surface, and secondly, once you start doing that, you're really gonna get drawn into just getting this to go crazy all over the place. So you might as well just take some of these sections apart, broaden out your play space, and just start trying to knock down the whole sections. The finesse of trying to battle with it, you know, with the spinner in there, I think just doesn't quite work out. I think most of the figures here look really good though, the Lloyd one being probably the weakest of them. I really like the stickers. They're very vibrant and give you a nice aura. I like the Ninjago movie alphabet that they are continuing to use. Over time you can start to just learn it and be able to read the things without, you know, looking them up. And I have to admit, the price to part ratio for this set is very good, and the price to volume of stuff and amount of play value you get is also, I think, very good. At least at first, or at least if you're really able to figure out the ways to get the most out of the Spinjitsu spinner. So those are my mixed feelings about the S.O.G headquarters set. Feel free, of course, to disagree with any of my own opinions, but I have many more videos to work on, so I'm going to get to it, and I'll talk to you again soon.